Hello there, welcome back to another video and welcome back to another episode of This or That. Well, lots of love on the first episode and thank you so much for all of the comments saying that it's a good idea and we should continue this series. So in this particular episode today, we are presenting two other fragrances from a very popular brand called as Rue Broca. Now, Rue Broca, immediately when you think about it, the most popular fragrance that comes to everybody's mind has been the Theoreme. And for all of the right reasons, this is such a fabulous fragrance. And then there was this flanker that came out as well, which is also very, very good. But some of you do get confused between these two and trying to figure out which one should you consider getting, right? So on this particular episode today, we're going to talk about these two and figure out and tell you what are the scent profiles and what are the pros and cons and which works best for what kind of situation, and that should help you clarify your doubts and help you make a decision, right? So if that is the type of content that you like, then definitely hit the like button, subscribe and do comment and let me know what you think about the series. And let's get into this review right after this intro. You're watching the Perfume Experience. My name is Rodney. Let's get going right after this. Alright, welcome back, and the good thing about this particular series is also that I feel that I'm able to cover a lot of fragrances that I have not been able to cover in the past, or I have not been able to do dedicated reviews for, right? So today we're going to talk about one, the Theoreme Matrix, the Theoreme. This is the original Theoreme, and this is also a 90 ml flanker, and then this is also the Theoreme Matrix that came out I think last year about so, and this is also a 90 ml, right? So before we get into the Theoreme, we'll talk about the Theoreme Matrix because this one is actually quite interesting in terms of its scent profile. Now, when you put this on, you do get a kind of DNA which is actually filled with a lot of citrusy green kind of an element, okay? Almost like you can think about pineapple, you can think about some citrus elements like oranges, you can think about some green elements. You will also smell a lot of floral elements as well, light hints of floral elements, and then there's a lot of woody elements as well. But I feel there is something very unique in this fragrance which is kind of not mentioned, okay? Now, I feel there is a type of a vanilla vibe that is available on this fragrance, but then that's not mentioned in any of the notes. The notes talk about lavender as such, and in the dry down there is a little bit of a saffron element. But predominantly when you open it up or when you spray the first spray, and for the first few minutes you are given out with a beautiful amount of citrusy pineapple and a lot of green elements, especially a lot of green grassy kind of an element, also little like almost like a fougere type of an element as well. And then immediately after about 20-25 minutes time, you also get presented with a light hint of vanilla, creamy, woody elements as well, a lot of powdery elements as well. And then of course in the dry down, you get a very, very nice, sweet, powdery, some kind of a very creamy element, which is absolutely beautiful for me in this particular fragrance. Now this is supposed to be an alternate of Aventus Absolute, or rather Absolute Aventus, okay? And I feel this is done with a slight amount of twist because it does have that Aventus DNA, it does have the Absolute DNA as well, but then because of that vanilla vibe that I was talking to you about, I feel it goes a little differently from there onwards, but then you are presented with a scent that is absolutely wonderful to smell, and it actually smells really, really good. Now, surprisingly, on my initial test months before, the performance was about average. You would get about, let's say, about 45 minutes or so of projection, maybe about 45 minutes maximum is what I would say. But then the lasting itself was about 4 to 5 hours time. But surprisingly, this works very well after that. So over a period of time, this has been with me now for maybe a few months. So you do get a performance slightly better. You get about 6 hours easy. For some people, this one actually performs really, really well as well. And it does a solid 7-8 hours as well. So yes, this is also very, very good. Especially very well suited for, let's say, date nights, okay? You are more likely to get compliments from a female friend on this particular fragrance than the original one. And this also has this playful allurance to it, so it kind of has this party allurance to it. So it works very well as a party fragrance, as a date night fragrance, as a cozy, comfortable type of a fragrance as well, and very well suited for office. So this one is a stellar fragrance, to be very, very honest. All right, so that was the Matrix. Now the OG Theoreme is actually another category itself. This is more of a citrusy, musky, ginger, sweet, and roxin based fragrance. The biggest element of this is the grapefruit. You have a lot of grapefruit, you have a lot of ginger spicy elements, you have a lot of woody elements, it has a lot of cedar, it has a lot of musk, it has a lot of patchouli, that kind of an element. But the opening element of this, powerful, strong, musky, gingery element along with the grapefruit is something that makes this fragrance absolutely wonderful. Now this, I'm guessing everybody is aware of it, but in case you are new to fragrances, this is an alternate of the Bulgari's Tiger, okay? So, or the Bulgari Tiger as some of you call it. So the Tiger is a very beautiful DNA. It's that fresh, citrusy, masculine, potent kind of a DNA. Now what makes this even more crazy, why there's such a fan following for this fragrance is, I believe this is going to be one of the cult classic fragrances for a lot of people because of its performance. The best way to enjoy any fragrance, okay, if you want to really explore a fragrance, just do one spray of a fragrance and then see what happens, and then you will really be surprised how exactly a fragrance can actually perform. And this one crosses all limits when you just do that. It has this overpowering, strong smell of this, citruses, the grapefruit coming together along with that ginger and to give you that beautiful spicy element. And then this thing projects for about an hour plus as well in that same realm. So the projection of this fragrance is really, really good. It does 2.5 feet to 3 feet of projection, and that first 45 minutes to 1 hour it's rock solid. Now after the 45 minutes and 1 hour, and then it has to soften up, and even in that it stays as a linear fragrance for me mostly. It does not really go down very much into the dry down of the cedar wood as such, but you do get a similar nuance of the Bulgari Tiger carried all the way across, and you get splendid performance about 6-7 hours easy. Now this is the type of fragrance that you can wear for outdoors, especially if you're out on a bright day, a sun warmed day, sun kissed day kind of a day. You will absolutely enjoy it because this smells really, really good. It projects very well, so in a bright day it kind of works absolutely beautiful. On the contrary, this works very well for indoors. It will work very well for a gloomy day, a rainy day, a little bit bright day also. This would be perfect. Okay. Now, from a profile point of view, this is a more masculine scent. This is definitely for somebody who loves old school, citrusy, manly scent, which has a lot of freshness, all of that, and you just love to have that masculine DNA going across you. You will love this. Matrix, on the other hand, is a more complicated, modern kind of a fragrance that's well suited for a more modern man, has that playboy, playing, allurance as well. So it works really, really well for date nights, parties, and so forth, right? Overall, these two are super fragrances, especially at the price point in which they come. I think this is about 1700 roughly to 1850 is what you should get a maximum of. This is also maybe about 100, 200 more, sub 2000 rupees. This is also an excellent flanker. Now, when I first got this flanker, I actually did not like it so much, to be very honest, because I have tried Aventus Absolute from another brand as well, but then it kind of did not capture that essence for me. But then always that element of that vanilla type of a vibe that I keep telling you about, which is basically could be lavender and saffron coming together here, gives that a beautiful touch when the fragrance starts to soften up, because only in the initial few minutes is where the Matrix actually has that citrusy, pineapple, blackcurrant, that kind of a DNA coming together. And after that, when it starts to go down and becomes this beautiful, sweet, woody, creamy, vanilla type of a fragrance, it is absolutely wonderful. At one point of time, maybe in about 1 to 1.5 hours time, somewhere I feel both of them overlap each other and they tend to have a slight similarity at one point of time, slightly, maybe about 15-20%, but otherwise both are fantastic fragrances individually. So, right, yeah. So, very easy to distinguish if you like citruses, if you like grapefruit, if you like spicy elements, if you like a very loud projecting masculine type of a fragrance, then Theoreme is for you, okay. If you like a slightly soft, more complicated fragrance with a little bit of a floral touch, with a little bit of a vanilla touch as well, and then it goes into a lovely playful fragrance, go for Theoreme Matrix, right? That's it. And these are super to have in your wardrobe. Both are extremely value for money, and I hope both of you can wear it. Both are very unisex also in my opinion, but I would say the Theoreme Matrix is definitely more unisex than the original Theoreme, right? And there is also a Femme edition, which is I think an alternate of My Way, alright? That is also another fragrance to consider. Overall, that's all I thought about Theoreme and Theoreme Matrix. And if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe and share. And if you do want to get any of these fragrances or decants of them, I will try to add these decants on our website. Then definitely DM us and let me know what you think. And I'll see you on another video. Until another time, take care. Bye bye.